Hello, everybody, and welcome to Luch's edition of the Biggest Loser of the Week. Starring me this week, had a horrible week. Sincerely want to apologize on behalf of my entire roster for stinking it up, honestly. Don't know what those motherfuckers were doing out there this week, and honestly can't even make excuses for them. Coach made the team, put those players out. We're throwing the players under the bus over here. We're moving like the Jets. But anyway, just wanted to say, going forward, obviously, we're going to break down some of the matchups that happened this week. We are going to be going in order from least interesting to most interesting, just to keep people engaged. And then we're going to be going through the power rankings. So we've got power rankings all the way from 12 to 1. It is going to go by threes, 12, 11, 10, and then the next slide. So just to keep you guys in a little bit of suspense. But hope you guys enjoy. Not enjoying doing this, and was hoping I wouldn't have to do this. Almost got through the whole season, just like I almost got through my entire college career without getting chlamydia, but both ended up being losses. So here we go. First, we got my matchup, obviously the least interesting matchup of the week. Before Monday night, it was looking like an 100-piece. ETN, even though he had kind of a shit game, honestly got 20 points. He was my highest scorer. Russ ended up being a decent QB to play. Geno Smith somehow tore up my Dallas D. So that was a little bit of a manager decision on my part that I have to take responsibility for. When it comes to Liam here, all we got to say is fuck the libs, but they really balled out this week. We've got Tua, Mike Evans, Debo, and Henry. Those four guys alone would have beaten me. So there's really not much to say here, to be completely honest. An overall embarrassing performance, and going 0-2 to your rival is very shitty. So I hope none of the rest of you have to go through that. But anyway, we move on. We've got Muslim Magic, and we've got the worst mascot in the league, the Maxi Pads. Maxi Pads has a stellar performance from Dak. He gets A Chain back. A Chain's cooking, going for 27, even though he only seemed like he played the second half. Galef's just got that consistency, and he's got that one guy named Tyreek Hill who's always going to cook no matter the circumstances. He had that barbecue chicken ass Washington secondary this week. So we all knew what was going to happen, and it happened. Anyway, this matchup, not that big of a surprise, but we're going to move on. We got the Titty Boys, and we've got the repeat offenders. And I want everyone to give a brief clap to the repeat offenders for winning a game for once. This team has been, in layman's terms, dog shit pretty much the whole year. Titty Boys been right around my level of mid the entire year. Some of the stellar performances. Michael Pittman just kept catching passes. Rashad White consistency. Evan Ingram had a day on Monday night, so got to give it off to him. But the repeat offenders have Brock Fraud Purdy, just throwing screen passes and going for 75 yards. Got to feel nice having that guy on your team. Puka Nakua had a great game. Devontae Smith came online in the second half and started cooking. So, again, congrats to Eric for winning a game here. But we move on, and we got the Mongols, and we've got Joel's Holes. Now, this looked like a pretty stellar matchup on paper going in. To be honest, I believe this is the closest I've seen somebody get to 200 without actually getting to 200. So, not sure if that's a compliment or an insult, but congrats, Joel. Might be the highest score this season. Not sure on that. But anyway, we had CD Lamb. That dude has been fantastic this year, been cooking. Kyron Williams, that guy, since he's come back from injury, looking like a league winner. We'll have to see about that. And then Joe Mixon, now addition to the cheek beaters, had himself a day. So, yeah, I mean, the Mongols, they had actually a very good performance. Joel just had almost all of his players ball out. Sam Laporta with 31, Nico Collins with 41, Trevor with 27, even when he got hurt, 21 for AJ Brown. Like, what are you going to do about that? So, all around good performances from this matchup. Can't really say either team didn't put up a fight, but Joel's guys just went above and beyond. But we move to the next one, where we had Sticker, I barely know her, the luckiest fucking team on the face of the earth. And we have Mr. McGiblets, Tyler, who is equally in that mid category with me and Handler. So here, Johnny wins again, somehow, some way. He has Jamar Chase clutch up for him on Monday Night Football. Did it on fucking overtime, which for Tyler has got a sting. However, Tyler did have DK Metcalf go for 40, my boy. He did have C-Mac, who I don't know that he's gotten under 20 this year. Might be the best number one overall pick ever. James Conner coming back with 25, solid performance, but not enough to beat Johnny, who has the Mystic Wizard powers on his team this year. I'm pretty sure he put a curse on the rest of the league for all of our players to get injured. I'm not sure. I'm not making any allegations, so to speak, but something to be investigated. But anyway, we move on to the matchup of the week, even though it was a stinker. Maybe a preview of how this Thursday night game between the Steelers and the Patriots is going to look. Very low scoring, but very close. So we didn't have that many great performances. Jordan Love balled the fuck out against Kansas City. That guy's coming online. He's going to look like a maybe top 5 quarterback in fantasy for the next couple weeks. We'll see. We got Chuba Hubbard, who drops 25 for Jack. That's stupid and unheard of. Anyway, but then really where it came down to it for this one is that Jacksonville defense, man. They got 4 points, which was enough to get Eli the win. And that motherfucker, for everyone in the league that knows, was a sweat. So, yeah, I mean, congrats, Eli. Maybe just continue playing, Monday night defenses, and you would be the best team in the league. I think that's your version of Johnny's devil magic that he's been unleashing on the rest of the league this year. But again, I digress, and we're moving on. At this point, again, I'd like to sincerely apologize to the rest of the league for my performance this week. Couldn't have been honestly any worse. Not even getting to 100. I pride myself on being a high scoring team generally. And that's not what I put out on the field this week. So without further ado, want to do my shotgun. Wow. I'm repping my boy Kenny. He's going to be back and he's going to be hungry for those playoffs. But cheers, boys. Oh, good morning. Anyway, I wanted to get that out of the way before we move into some of these power rankings here. And league's looking very spicy going into the last week of the season. Obviously, a lot on the line for a lot of teams. Johnny has the number 1 seed locked up. There's 4, 6, and 7 teams. A lot of mid-range teams that are going to be fighting for everything and trying to get into those playoffs. People that are just dying not to get into that fucking calendar bracket. But yeah, anyway, we'll move on to the power rankings, and yeah, nobody get offended. So first we got the repeat offenders at number 12. I think this is pretty obvious. Honestly, his team, not great. There's just been a lot of mid performances all year. A lot of players that have, low ceilings, low floors. He can't stay away from making these videos, almost like Josh Gordon can't stay away from the weed. So that's why I included a nice little picture of Josh Gordon, who himself is a repeat offender. So figured it was, kind of a nice little pairing there. But yeah, there's not really too much to go into with the repeat offenders, honestly. Maxi pads, again, worst mascot in the league for sure. Worst name. I know it's your name, but you're literally a woman's vagina pad. Anyway, you're now last in the league. So congratulations on that. You've let Eric bypass you. But not in my heart, Max. Just because of honestly Dak Prescott, A-Chain coming back, I think that's going to be huge for you in these consolation brackets, and not ending up making that calendar. And honestly, George Kittle, man, he's been a sneaky little guy. He's been getting a lot of points. And then Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton, both been good. Cortland Sutton, automatic touchdown nowadays. It really is inevitable. I know we talk about it. But yeah, honestly, on the up and up as far as I'm concerned with the maxi pads, but maybe too little too late. Um, then we have my least favorite team in the league, the fucking Libs, the intolerant left, um, who beat me and swept me this year. And that's something that I'm going to take personal, coming into next year and into the playoffs. So everyone watch out. But, you know, I think that he honestly has a pretty solid team. He's got Tua, Mike Evans, Debo. He's got Zach Moss coming back after that just miraculous fucking Taylor injury that just happened to happen the week that I was playing Liam. So, not that it would have mattered, but definitely had morale on the team down and could have made a difference in the game. So, we moved to that. Um, Titty Boys. Now, again, this is what I like to call the mid quadrant right here. This is just a lot of teams that have decent players, not great players. Might make the playoffs, could make a run, probably not. And that includes myself. So not even trying to, judge or anything, but it is what it is at this point. Yeah, but Titty Boys, 6-7, honestly, right around kind of where their record is showing them, to be completely honest. Pat Mahomes been a disappointment. We can all admit it. Handler bitches about it in the chat almost every single day. We hear all about it. Justin Jefferson been out the entire season. He does come back, so this ranking could change depending on how JJ looks. Not sure how he's going to look with Dobbs at QB. We were, going to have to wait and see. Pittman's been great. Not really much to complain about there. Ingram been the leading receiver for Jacksonville, so honestly, as far as tight ends go, can't really complain there. But the rest of his roster, just there is a lot to be desired, to be honest. The injury to Ramondre definitely helps with Zeke's production, but we'll have to see on that. The Patriots are fucking dog water. So, it is what it is. And then we got Mr. McGiblets, who right now is above me in the standings. I just, maybe I'm biased. I just don't see how this is a better team than me. Yes, he has Josh Allen. Yes, he has DK Metcalf. Yes, he has C-Mac. But the rest of this team is just not that great. Rashi Rice is starting on this team. And everyone knows that Kansas City receivers nowadays are just awful. We've got Jared Cook starting on this team as of today. That definitely helps out. Not that much. Gabe Davis, who is the biggest hit or miss motherfucker in the league, also a starter on this team. James Conner definitely had a great week for him. We'll see how consistent that is. Jordan Addison been very inconsistent, even though he's the number one. With JJ coming back, going to take a step back. So, not too much to talk about. Definitely could make a run in the playoffs if those players got hot, but I just don't see it. And then we come to my team, Cheek Beaters, the beater of cheeks, the cheek clappers. Yeah. Anyway, Jared Goff pickup honestly got a lot of consistency at the QB position, but it could have just muddled the waters. I would have been running with Chino, who got 33 this past week, and definitely could have made at least a dent, and I wouldn't be making this video right now. So definitely hurt a little bit on that. This new trade got myself Mixon, got myself Jacoby Myers, and got myself Drake London. Got myself some depth, some flex possibilities here. Definitely traded away my number one guy, Diggs. He's, love Diggs, and he's just been a disappointment this year, to be completely honest. He is getting outscored by Mixon. So, yeah, anyway, my team, I liked it a lot more on paper at the beginning of the year. First couple weeks, it looked like I was going to be a powerhouse, and then injuries started happening, bye weeks started happening, and I just kept losing games. So luck has not been on the cheek beater side this year. Those memes have slowed down towards the end of the year with all the losses. I apologize that more of your cheeks couldn't have been beat this year, but we're going to move on to the top half of the league here. We got the Daily Wire. Now, this is, I think, the most clever name in the league, for obvious reasons, but honestly, a solid, just overall team. I'm on Ross St. Brown, dog. Lamar Jackson, dog. A little inconsistent, but definitely a dog. David Montgomery, I fucking love that guy. I don't care if he gets me 5 points or 35 points. I want him on my team because he runs like a maniac. Jake Ferguson randomly been a decent tight end. Romeo Dobbs randomly been good. Eli has a lot of those guys that just kind of, come out of the woodshed. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, this guy has the devil magic on his fucking side at this point. I don't know how else to describe it. He's had 2 Monday night wins with a defense, which I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but Eli prayed to the right gods at some point. So props to you, Eli. You're in the top half of the league here. Next, we got Chalupa Batman. I'm sure Eli's a little annoyed seeing that he just beat Chalupa Batman, and he's ranked above him. However, I just think that Jack's team has a lot more depth and a lot more upside here. We've got Josh Dobbs. He's honestly been a really sick pickup. Um, love that story. The Pastronaut, it's not rocket science for him, literally. Keenan Allen, model of consistency this year, even though the Chargers are fucking shit and will continue to be shit. DJ Moore, good. Raheem Mostert, good. Saquon, good. Cole Kmet, who I dealt to Jack. Honestly, a little sleeper tight end. All of you are going to forget that by next year when I pick him up again, but a little great pickup. But yeah, I like Jack's team. I think with the right, plays, things could go his way in the playoffs. I do think the same for Eli as well. I just think Jack has a couple more upside guys that could really make a difference. And then we've got Joel's Holes, one of the sticker bitches that, he's making a name for himself in the league right now. He's 8-5, third in the league as of this video. Just required Russell Wilson from myself. Got himself a QB after T Law got hurt. RIP T Law. I'm sure he'll be back soon. Anyway, AJ Brown, Devontae Adams, Isaiah Pacheco, Sam Laporta, Nico Collins, all explosive people. Joel is one of those teams where he's either going to lose by 30 or he's going to win by 30, and there's really no in between. Now, this could either really pay off in the playoffs or this could really not. So Joel is one of those wild card teams. It's the only reason I'm not ranking him higher, to be completely honest, is I think there's low floor, high ceiling players all over his roster. If the things fall in the right area for Joel, he's going to dominate, and he might even make a run for the chip. It would suck to see a sticker bitch win a chip in their first year. I hope the rest of the league doesn't allow that, but it is what it is. And congrats, Joel, for making a really strong showing for yourself this first year. Number 3, we have Alu Akbar, Muslim Magic. Anyway, Justin Fields, been solid, was injured in the middle of the year, but does rushing attempts, rushing yards, just always get QBs where they need to be. It's just something that's been true since the beginning of time, and Fields is that number 1 rushing QB guy that he's getting 8 carries a game. So love Fields as a fantasy QB, hate him as a real QB, but Tyreek Hill might be the league winner, and it's not even in a way where he was picked up off the waiver wire, just that he wasn't fucking number 1 overall. This guy can drop 50 on a given day. He dropped, I think, 44 on 6 catches last week. So, I mean, there's not much to be said. Brandon Ayuk, my boy, who I traded, not much really to be said. I mean, that guy just very consistent, just anywhere from 10 to 20 points every single week. He never drops a stinker, but he never really blows up. He's had a few, but just a very consistent player to have on your team. Pollard has been heating up as far as this season's been going. He was really shit in the beginning of the season, really started getting it going. Jaylen Warren, great pickup. But yeah, I mean, I even like Christian Watson, who's been injured. I don't know. I think Sam's got a really strong roster headed in the playoffs. I think he definitely has one of the best shots to win. Obviously, as I have him ranked 3rd. So, anyway, next we got Sticker I Barely Know Her. And at this point, I'm sure everyone's wondering to themselves, how is he not ranked number 1? And it's because, as you can see on the screen, this is some Mickey Mouse fucking shit at this point. Johnny has no points. He has no points against, and yet he is 11-2. I just don't understand how this is happening, especially for a sticker bitch. I think Johnny might have secretly been researching shit that all those years that he claimed to not know dick about football. Who knows at this point? Honestly, I'm starting to suspect him, but yeah. The only reason Johnny isn't ranked number 1st is honestly the fact that he doesn't have any points for. He does have great players: Jalen Hurts, Jamar Chase, Kamara, who just eats receptions. Hawkinson, tight end 2, almost number 1. Um, we've got, that's really it. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me, man. It really just doesn't make sense at all. But congrats, Johnny. I don't know how you're doing it, but you're doing it, and at some point, wins are wins at the end of the year. I just could see a first round exit for this team if everything doesn't roll his way, like it has been this season. But if the devil magic continues, then it is what it is. And last but not least, we have the Mongols. Now, again, this team has scored the most points, which, in my opinion, shows that it's the best team in fantasy football. As of right now, he also has Stephon Diggs on his team, which he does not have, courtesy of me. Um, I'm in a little bit of a desperate situation, needed some depth, needed some running backs. He had the need for Stephon Diggs, and here we find ourselves. CJ Stroud, CD Lamb, Stephon Diggs, Gibbs, Kyron Williams, Kelsey, Deontay Johnson. That's a starting lineup that I think could win a chip. Now, I will say we have seen Sam Lynette be the unluckiest fuck in fantasy football, and I fully expect it to happen again. This ranking does no way mean that I am predicting him to win. I will say that I think he has the strongest roster, but as we know, that matters jack dick in the fantasy football playoffs. It's about week to week matchups. It's about who gets hot at the right time. And even just looking on paper, he's a projected 143 points this week. That's a very, very high projection, especially for this year where every single person is injured. So that's my number 1 ranking, and that's my total rankings. As you can see here, we've got the full comprehensive list for everyone that wants to see it. Honestly, I'm sure some of you are going to be butthurt at some of the comments and some of the rankings that I put out. I really, truly don't give a fuck. Y'all are making me do a video and shotgun a seltzer at 10 p.m. So, on that note, I do love the rest of this league. I once again apologize to every single one of you for how fucking shitty I played this week. It will not happen again. And I promise you, against Eric this week, you will see that. Hopefully, I will see all of you in the playoffs this year. As you see, there is an asterisk here because I really do not want to see Liam in the playoffs. Clearly, he owns me, but also fuck the Sun Devils, Wildcats forever. We fucking raped them. Anyway, I'll wrap it up for here, but hope you guys have a great Thursday.